Let's talk about stable coins, y'all. This is the on the other side of the CBDC debate is stable coins issued by private consortia. And chief among those is the USDC stablecoin, which is issued by the Center Consortium, which is helmed by Coinbase and Circle. Had a little bit of scoop here, a little bit of scoop on the site yesterday with this one. USDC, which is now a $25 billion concern. There's 25 billion of these things floating around on 4 blockchain networks right now. Could soon be on as many as 10 more networks. And we already saw Tezos yesterday announce that it was forthcoming. There are 9 others, some interesting names on this list, but really to me speaks to how interesting stablecoins are about to become. Stablecoins are squarely in the eye of regulators, both here and abroad, and USDC is going for the Tether throne by expanding to these various networks. I'm going to throw this to you, Will. Talk to me about like just the significance of stablecoins on blockchains, right? They've sort of become a key part in getting these networks up to speed. What's the significance of something like this with USDC or with any of the other dollar-backed stablecoins out there?
Yeah, for context, I think stablecoins are just very industry specific at the moment. They're used for traders to get out of positions if you're short or long, and you think the market's going to move one way or the other. You don't know. You just move into stablecoins. But we're increasingly seeing them touted as a new method for payments or remittances, and I think long term that's where it could go. That's where you could have stablecoins in your Apple Wallet or on your phone. Interesting to me that this scoop came out yesterday. Nice one on that, Zach. I saw it yesterday and immediately got me thinking about what Center is doing, because, like you said, stablecoins are like in the middle of the vortex of regulatory eye. Like they are looking at these things and making sure that they are scrutinized and that they're working properly. So Center is looking at all these blockchains, which kind of leads me to 2 conclusions. Either that chain is safe and sufficiently decentralized, like your Ethereums of the world, where it's nearly impossible to undo and go back and roll back a transaction, or Center has the ability to influence how transactions are made on that chain because there isn't enough validators, there isn't enough decentralization, and they feel safe enough to kind of like throw their weight around and protect their stablecoins that are issued on that chain. There's also like a discussion about interoperability between all these chains. So if you want to be able to move USDC from one chain to another, you probably can. And kind of looking at the list, you see a lot of these chains are Ethereum knockoffs of sorts, or at least have components of Ethereum that they've ported over, so like Tron or Kava or whatnot. So interesting to see Ethereum's presence in the stablecoin space only increases with more blockchains being added to that ecosystem. Nate, what's your thought on stablecoins and more blockchains being added here?
Yeah, I think this is like Zach had said, this is very relevant given like recent comments from at least one Fed official kind of looking at concerns about Tether. Others like Brainerd at Consensus and Jay Powell earlier before that had kind of talked about stablecoins as being worried about the risk it could pose to consumers and businesses. As to whether, talk about whether or not they were fractional or fully reserved. And I think that another element that central banks will be and other regulators will be looking out for is access. If stablecoins become a regular form of payment, can they be used everywhere? Basically, can everyone use them? Because at a certain point, it'll be those regulators will be looking at kind of consumer protections and wanting to make sure that anyone across the spectrum can kind of use this. But I wanted to throw it to Jen. You had some thoughts there.
Yeah, I actually just had a question. I think I'm going to throw the question to Naomi. I mean, people who are entering the space, we hear about Bitcoin, ETH, Doge. Stablecoins feel like there's a less sexy narrative if you're just kind of a newcomer. Why should people pay attention to stablecoins if you're not a trader like Will was talking about?
Well, if you're not a trader, I mean, I mean, there are different use cases, right? I think speculative reasons are a huge reason for stable coins. And if you want to hedge, if you think the crypto is going down, you may just want to transfer it into a stable coin. If you take it out of the crypto sphere, I mean, there's all kinds of friction. There's all kinds of fees associated with that. You got to wait several days for wire transfers, all of that stuff. So it makes sense that people are looking to like an equivalent of that fiat money in the crypto space. But the other side of things is like everyday purchases. It can be super simple to be able to pay for something and not do the conversion of, well, you know, how much Bitcoin is that? What's the price of Bitcoin right now? It's all linked to fiat. Now, on the other side of things, I think fiat is getting inflated away. So maybe we should stop calling them stable coins and like start calling them inflated coins or something like that, just to get the message across that these are not like these sturdy things that you should necessarily be parking your money in.